Good morning students. This is my lecture number 2 for class 11 students subject English for chapter number 1 The Portrait of a Lady written by Khushwant Singh. This chapter is from your main course book Hornbill. Before we complete this chapter, let me recapitulate lecture number 1 of the same chapter, in which I taught you how the writer described his grandmother and the beautiful relationship between both of them. The writer describes his grandmother as a beautiful woman but not pretty, and he says that his grandmother had been an old and wrinkled woman for last 20 years that he had known her, and she always remained in telling the beads of her rosary. She had silver hair and she used to wear a white sari. She was a very kind woman, used to feed the dogs with stale chapatis every afternoon. And the writer describes the beautiful relationship into 3 phases of their life. In first lecture, I taught you about the first phase of their life that he spent with her at village, when grandmother used to wake him up, got him ready for school, accompanied him to school, spent the whole time in the temple, and she used to do everything for the writer in the village. When they got a call from his parents to be migrated to city, it was the second phase of their life, which was considered a turning point into their relationship. The writer got a call from his parents to be shifted to city, though they were given the same room to share in their city home. But now the child became over busy as he got admission in a city school, and there he used to go by a motor bus, and grandmother could not accompany him to school now. There he was taught English lessons, all the subjects in English, and grandmother could not help him in his studies or completing homework. And then he describes grandmother's dislike for the city school, as once he told his grandmother he was given a music lesson which disturbed his grandmother a lot, because to her music had lewd associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval, and she rarely talked to the writer after that. This is what we studied in our lecture 1 for the portrait of a lady. Now we will proceed further. Second half of the chapter begins with the third phase of their life. When the author grew up, he went up to a university and he was given a room of his own. Due to it, the common link of the grandmother with her grandson was snapped. The grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Seclusion means loneliness, resignation means willingly. Grandma accepted her loneliness willingly. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone now. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the breadcrumbs into the bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirping. Bedlam means mental asylum. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders, some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. This was the time when she missed her grandson, but uncomplainingly she started passing her time with sparrows and the spinning wheel. Then the long distance occurred in their relationship. This time the author decided to go to abroad for his further studies. The author had to go to abroad for 5 long years, and he was sure that his grandmother would be upset after knowing this. And He would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell whether she would be alive to see him back or not. But the lady was very strong in her character. She did not say anything to the writer, and even she went to leave him at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer, her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently she kissed his forehead, and when he left, he cherished the most imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact. Now, the author's arrival at home after 5 years. The author's arrival at home was a celebration time for the grandmother. That day, she behaved differently. In the evening, a change came over her. That day, she did not pray. In fact, she collected all the neighborhood women and she got an old drum and started singing the songs of homecoming warriors. And all the family members tried to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. And the author says that was the first time since he had known her that she did not pray. She overstrained all the evening and she kept on singing the songs of homecoming warriors in order to welcome the grandchild back to home. The next morning, she was taken ill. Due to the overstrain she took the last evening, she fell sick. Now she could see her death herself. The doctor was called and the doctor declared as if it was a mild fever and it would go very soon. But his grandmother thought differently. She told the family members that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to anybody. The family members protested, but she ignored their protest and she laid peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before anybody could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor means yellow color, paled face, spread on her face and everything was dead. Everybody found that she was dead. At last, the author tells the beautiful behavior of sparrows at grandma's death. He tells that they lifted the dead body of the grandma off the bed and laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud is a cloth to cover the dead bodies. After a few hours of mourning, they left her alone to make other arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, they went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. They stopped halfway in the courtyard. They noticed all over the veranda and even in her room, right up to where she laid dead and stiff wrapped in the red shroud, thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. There was no chirping. They felt sorry for the birds, and his mother, the author's mother, fetched some breadcrumbs for them in the way they were given by the grandmother. And she tried to throw all those breadcrumbs to them because the family members thought they had come to take their breadcrumbs. But they found that the sparrows took no notice of the bread. And in fact, when they carried his grandmother's corpse off, the dead body off, All the sparrows flew away quietly, silently. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. It was the beautiful way of sparrows to express their sorrow. Let us conclude the chapter. The chapter The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh describes the beautiful bond between the grandson and the grandmother, in which he describes the unconditional love of the grandmother poured onto her grandson, and he tells how beautifully the grandmother helped in his bringing up and how she met her end. She was such a kind and pious woman who would remain always adorable for the grandson. She would always be alive in his memories, and he would never forget the beautiful lady who was beautiful by heart and had done all the acts of kindness to set an example not only for the grandchild but for all the children who have studied this chapter. This is the end of the chapter. Now I'll assign you homework. You people are supposed to read the complete lesson, The Portrait of a Lady, again, and on the basis of understanding the chapter, answer the questions, question number 1 to 5 from understanding the text heading given on page number 6 and 7, and make sure you are answering these questions in your rough English notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.